Hello everyone, I am Hybrid.
And I am Flo and Deb.
And today we have a match for you between Chris, the pink Protoss.
No, the orange Protoss.
Orange Protoss, sorry. And DuncanIdaho, the pink Zerg.
This match was sent to us from Chris, who participated in the recent Rising Cup number 2. This is a match from that Rising Cup. This is in the round 16, and I believe this is the game 1 of that round.
Yes, and this is our first cast. Our motto is Noobs Helping Noobs, so we will be pointing out little things that could help these two players improve, and hopefully to help you improve. So basically, we're just seeing some basic play from both of these players here. Good play from DuncanIdaho getting this this Overlord over to the close spot by air. Just kind of an effective scout to see where your opponent is, so you can send your drone there earlier. And we're getting an early probe scout from Chris. Better time to send your scout is probably after you make your first gateway. Usually, because you want to get as much income in the early game as possible.
You can see why Chris is trying to do this, though, however. He is trying to figure out where his opponent is.
Exactly. And this Overlord, seeing that Chris is definitely not here, and now we're seeing our first gateway go down at 12. Pretty standard timing for a Protoss to go 12 gate. And now DuncanIdaho pretty much guarantees that he is here, and DuncanIdaho is going to know where he is. Probe from Chris finding DuncanIdaho now, and DuncanIdaho is making a spawning pool. A decent placement here to get a decent wall off right here. But he needs to put another building in there.
This wall off will help protect his drones from a little bit of zealot harassing. If he is trying that wall off, though, I'd suggest putting it at the other side, closer to where his opponent would come in.
Exactly. Probably what I was going to say. But you have to remember that this spot is going to be closely guarded. You can get zealots and stuff in there, because zealots are small units and will be able to fit in there. But you have to remember that spawning pools are very valuable for Zerg. They are worth 200 minerals, and if there is any early pressure and you can't use that spawning pool anymore, that is a huge blow, and basically you can only attack with your workers.
One thing that you see a lot of Zerg players do is putting the spawning pool instead of here, trying to wall off, but putting it behind your mineral line because it's so valuable.
And because it does actually produce a wall off behind the minerals right here. You could fit a zealot through here if you go around back. And it's actually almost smarter for a Protoss to do this, because he can get only face one Zergling at a time unless the Zerg goes around and goes around also. Something I've noticed quite early on here is that if we pull up the income tab here, Chris has much more harvesters.
One thing that you see noobs doing a lot is sacrificing workers and income early on for more tech, for more military.
Exactly, and he did spot that he only has 2 zealots at the moment, only getting a second gateway now. So he could have focused a little bit more on economy here, and but maybe he's just going to try and take down these 2 zealots. These zealots do...
That would not be a very smart idea. The zealots are perfectly placed. As many Zerg players would know, and many Protoss players would know, 1 zealot at a ramp can take down just about 5 Zerglings.
Something like that. And now we have 3 zealots here, and maybe these Zerglings are just controlling the watchtower.
Very smart move. Another thing that newer players don't do a whole lot is get those Elnega towers, get some scouting, and get some map control.
Exactly. Something to note, you always want to be doing something with your units. If you're not doing something with your units, that's kind of a bad thing. So if we pull up the army tab here, Chris is 26 to 22. He does have a bigger army, and he does have more harvesters. So I'd definitely say that Chris is in the lead right now, because he just has more invested in buildings, probes, and army.
Back to Hybrid's point about always doing something with your units, one major thing is you always want to be using your larvae as Zerg, and always want to be producing from your buildings as Terran and Protoss. You don't see DuncanIdaho doing a great job of that right now, even though he's very high on minerals. He could be producing some drones or Zerglings.
Oh, and now these Zerglings are going for a Zergling run by that won't work. He saw those 3 zealots moving out and thinking maybe there's an open door. But something Chris isn't doing very well is he's getting 1 zealot at a time. He could be getting 2 zealots attacking these.
There he goes. There
we go. Now the Zerglings get the run by. He might be in a decent amount of trouble here, but he does get these probes out. The Zerglings don't have speed. Oh, they just got speed. So the Zerglings just got speed, and they will be able to track down these probes, but they are trying to face the Zealot. Maybe they should have just done a little more running around, but the Stalker is out, so that would have prevented any of that.
These Zerglings moving out again. I don't know if they're just going to stay at the Expo to prevent an expansion, or if they're going to do another try and attack, but this is not... That wouldn't be a very smart move. I'd just keep them at the Expo if they're going to do anything.
Mm-hmm. And
yet more Zerglings coming
yet
out.
More Zerglings.
If I were the Zerg player here, I would definitely be making more drones than Zerglings. Chris definitely still has an advantage in the income tab.
And this is interesting for Chris. He is making 5 gateways. Probably most of you have heard of the standard 4-gate. And 5 gates is a little too much to handle economically.
For only one base.
You're almost, yeah, exactly, for only one base. And these Zerglings will probably deny any kind of probe trying to make a Nexus here. And this Overlord, very good, basically, use from DuncanIdaho using these Overlords and getting a decent amount of scouting done, because he's able to see if there is a base going down here with this Overlord that is not really being able to be seen by the Protoss opponent because of this ledge here.
One thing you can note is, if with the Nidus network, as I use so much as a Zerg player myself, you can put something right up there and just snipe out the...
Exactly, and also he has another Overlord over here. So if we pull up DuncanIdaho's tab here, he is using these Zerglings, and they are denied by the scout and stuff. But DuncanIdaho has this this Overlord right here. He has vision right on this cliff, and Chris doesn't. He doesn't have any kind of vision in this area at all. A perfect place to put a Nidus network, and now DuncanIdaho is making another base.
As the game moves on, I think Nidus networks are going to become a lot more popular, even in the lower levels.
Exactly. They are very, very good. You just have to remember, they instantly teleport units anywhere you want.
Not instantly, you have to build the Nidus network.
You have to build a Nidus worm, but I mean, you could have like 9 Nidus worms everywhere and just like move them where you want almost instantly. And now we're getting 2 pylons out. This is going to tell DuncanIdaho that Chris is going to be putting an expansion here as soon as he gets 400 minerals.
If we pull up the army tab here, Chris is most definitely ahead of DuncanIdaho, as you predicted, with that early advantage from Chris.
And also, he's still ahead in the harvesters, 28 to 19. Really, all this second base is doing right now is getting DuncanIdaho some more larvae production,
which he isn't even using.
Which he isn't even using because, I mean, he doesn't have a surplus of minerals. And right now, don't be afraid to move your workers off gas when you put them there. If you have a huge surplus of gas, and you can't really do anything with it, like you don't have mutas or anything like that yet, move your drones off of gas and get some more minerals.
You have to remember to put them back, though, obviously.
You will eventually have to put them back, but right now we have an Overseer preventing any kind of DT rush, and now Chris is moving his army back here. I think he did kill the Zerglings back here, but this Overlord is still here, and I don't think if Chris does realize, no, Chris doesn't realize, and now we're seeing this probe trying to go suiciding in here.
See the unit composition from
seeing the unit composition, and as well, he does see that he has an expansion now. Something DuncanIdaho is doing a decent job of is he is laying down creep tumors effectively, and something he could be doing, though, is he could be using this Overseer, maybe to drop some changelings, or something like that.
Photon cannons just destroy the changelings, though.
Yeah, but you still have to direct the attack move and all of that kind of stuff. So now we're seeing a move out by Chris. 5 warp gate push. Like I said, he probably should have used a 4 gate because
he still has that extra minerals, even though
he still has that extra gas, and now he finally put down that nexus.
I don't know if he's using all of his gates though all the time. Exactly. Like I said, you have to always be using your unit production buildings. One thing that you see a lot of noobs doing, a lot of new players doing, is making too many gateways or barracks.
And see, you can see this. He is using all. He's only using 1 gateway at a time, and now this is a smart play from DuncanIdaho, but a little bit at the wrong time because now the spine crawler.
Very, very nice placement of this force field. Now the Zerg army can't get to Chris while he's taking out this expansion.
Exactly.
Very smart
and now he's putting even more force fields down, and he can actually use the superior range of the stalkers here to play to his advantage and maybe kill the roaches. He does move out. Almost a good thing to not be greedy, and
I actually really like this play. He saw the 2 spine crawlers and he just pulled back and went back to his base. A smarter thing to do maybe would have been to take the Zelnaga tower. But we'll see how this pans out.
And now we're seeing some roaches and hydralisks move out as kind of a counterattack, but they will not stand any kind of chance to this giant army from Chris. He is not ahead in the harvester count anymore because it seems that DuncanIdaho was just pumping out drones, as you can see here. But he is way, way, way ahead in the army department. Almost more than double the size of his army, and still ahead in supply. Chris is. So
look at this fantastic play by Chris here, moving his weaker units like the sentries to the middle of the pack, and moving his armored units like the stalkers to the middle.
That is very good play.
Layers.
A small thing that not a lot of players have to worry about. Something you could do though is you could, once you have this very saturated base in this one, you can move like 6 or 8 workers, depending on how saturated your base is, over to this new expansion, so that you get less saturation and more minerals.